Nebraska Congressman Don Bacon weighing in on the arrest of a Chinese student accused of illegally taking photos of planes at Offutt Air Force Base. Before running for office, Bacon was the base commander at Offutt. Court records show law enforcement arrested a 21-year-old Chinese citizen, and he was trying to fly out of the country earlier this month. He allegedly drove to Offutt, took photos of planes on the ground without permission using a telephoto lens. Bacon says he's glad authorities were able to intervene.
The 99% of these folks, they're going to school. They're loving their American experience. But there's just talking about a very small number that are probably that we believe are associated with the Chinese intelligence gathering.
Court documents show the suspect is a Chinese student taking classes in Scotland. He came to the U.S. with a valid visa. The suspect allegedly told investigators he knew taking the photos was illegal, but he wanted them for his personal collection.
The White House said